Author's House.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Richardson and I'm from Authors Press. Today is March 7th, 2022, and I'm here with Albert Krueger, the author of Conundrums of the End. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Albert?
A little bit? Okay. I'm 73 years old. That'll tell you something. I've been retired from my profession for 10 years. So what I'm doing in retirement is writing books, and that's why we're here. I retired from a career in the ministry, in the Episcopal priesthood, to be exact. So I was a priest for 30-some years. I have 2 grown children, and I'm enjoying a second marriage right now with 3 more children. So they're all grown up, so we don't have too much difficulty with them.
Children, as my family calls them.
Yeah. What else is worth noting? I graduated from high school in northern Arizona in a small town, and at the beginning I was kind of a science geek, and that's what I intended to do with myself in college. And believe it or not, that transformed into a call to the ministry. So I'm not sure how usual that was in the 60s. Usually the people got called away from it. So here we are. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your book as well?
Okay, the book is, I'll show you the book. There it is. Got it?
Love the cover, that's very beautiful.
The book is called Conundrums of the End, and yes, it is about the end of the world. I took a liking to apocalyptic thinking when I retired and figured, gosh, I might as well investigate it some more. So it is an investigation of apocalypse. And what it means, what it might feel like.
So this isn't one of the interview questions, but I'm a bit curious. You say that it's an apocalyptic book. Is it like post-apocalyptic or like during the apocalypse?
It's a come with me through the apocalypse that we're experiencing right now book.
I was always a fan of those dystopian novels and the post-apocalyptic books. I was such a sucker. I'm still a sucker for them. So.
Well, they said at Westville that it's a popular subject now, so it should get some mileage.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your journey as an author?
Yeah, like I said, it started a little less than 10 years ago. It took me 3 years to write my first book, and I can show you that book here. There's a different publisher. There it is, see it?
So with this book, what is the main message you want to get across to your readers?
The main message is that moving through the apocalypse biblically, and I am talking about the book of Revelation, doesn't have to be a terrifying thing. It's part of the process, the New Testament process, and it doesn't necessarily involve meteorites and asteroids coming in and blowing up the planet or global warming destroying all of us, but those things are on people's minds now anyway, so it's kind of appropriate to discuss what apocalypse really is.
So is this book a standalone or is it a part of a series?
Well, I keep writing more books about it, so I guess we can call it part of a series. It's a lot of explaining.
You just have a lot to say about it.
Well, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Who is your target audience? Do you have a target audience for this
My
book?
target audience is really believers who are disturbed by the events of the day. And there are I think just about every Christian is disturbed by the events of the day, either in a liberal way or a conservative way or a progressive way, or it's just everywhere. People are talking about it and they don't know what to make of it.
So what would you say is your biggest source of inspiration?
My biggest source? That's hard to say. I've got to put the Bible up there because I've been a student of the Bible for most of my life. And that's what it informs my feelings and my observations. And then what the second most important is my experience in the ministry and how people respond to the gospel.
So what does literary success look like to you, or what makes you feel successful as an author?
To sell lots of books and make money.
Right.
I mean, if nobody reads the book, it's just my thoughts. I'm glad I wrote it because it's a good discipline to put your thoughts together. But I'm trying to reach a bigger audience than the Episcopal pulpit.
So what was your favorite part of writing this book?
My favorite part was being honest. I wrote the book in the summer of 2019, so it's kind of old now for me, but it's still appropriate.
Right, it is from a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's from 2019, which was just before the famous election, the presidential election, and it was just before the pandemic. And now it's just before the war in Ukraine. So I'm pleased with its kind of prophetic nature, because I begin by talking about the role of catastrophe in the spiritual life of people and nations. It seemed like everybody was expecting a catastrophe of some kind, and here we are. So I wrote it for myself, really. I wrote it thinking, why am I feeling this way? What's going on here? I'd like to center my thoughts and really get my act together so I'll know how to talk about what I think is going on.
On the other hand, what was the hardest part of writing this book?
The hardest part was overcoming the fear of people thinking I'm a nut job for writing it.
Right. So your own self-esteem really was the issue.
Yeah, do I dare put this out there? And you're not supposed to talk about the end of the world in a serious way, so there you are. I'm talking about it in a serious way.
So is this the first story you've ever written?
No, the other book I showed you was, but I've been a preacher, so I've been writing messages all my life. That's what you do. It's part of the job. So it's not new.
You used to write sermons then?
Yeah, lots of sermons. One a week for 30 years.
So what do the people around you think about your writing?
One of my friends thinks I should make a murder mystery out of it, and then maybe more people will read it. I've actually tried. I don't do fiction very well. Most of the people around me are puzzled, I think. They're very encouraging. It's exciting to enter into a literary career.
Well, are you pleased with the outcome of this book, or would you want to change anything if you had the chance?
I'm very pleased with the book itself. I've read it through 5 times now, and every time it reads like a good book. So I think it says what I want it to say. And I think it will speak to whoever wants to read it.
So is there anything you wanted to mention or brush upon before we wrap this up?
Let's see. Yeah, there's a philosophical side to me that goes into this as much as the religious side. And I studied the philosophy of religion years ago and had some very good professors. So thinking about religious things is part of Conundrums of the End. I was very moved that a couple of books that really got my attention. One was Barbara Tuchman's book, The Proud Tower, which talks about the end of the old order in the 19th century and how it collapsed and led into World War I. And that is really a major theme in my thinking, that, okay, what did happen when the 20th century came in and why are things the way they are? And that's all apocalyptic as far as I'm concerned.
And I can see what you mean by it is all related to the apocalypse somehow, some way.
Somehow, some way, yeah.
So, where can readers find out more about you and your books?
You can check Amazon. It's listed on Amazon's website and on your list, I believe.
How do you feel about working with Authors Press?
Well, I'm enjoying it so far. It's all very new to me. The virtual relationships I wasn't trained up in, so this is nice. I like Zoom. This is working nicely. But I'm looking forward to the Los Angeles Fair.
And you're attending the Los Angeles Book Fair?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Hear that, readers? He's going to be there.
I'll shake your hand, readers. Well, maybe we're not allowed to shake hands. I don't know.
Maybe that's not the best idea.
Yeah, okay. We'll hit elbows.
Yeah. I think that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed discussing your book with you, and it was interesting to find out that your book was about mid-apocalyptic events when I would never have guessed that by looking at the cover.
Oh, well, good.
Like plot
It's a
twist.
mystery. A mystery and a surprise.
Yeah, plot twist.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to Authors Press, either through our phone number or our email, and we'll get to you as soon as we can.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, you stay safe and have a nice day.
You too. Have a good one.